Yo, it's me, DPC. And I don't usually do videos like this, but I have an opinion. Not only an opinion, but I have a fact. Alright. I know exactly what Nintendo's gonna do next. I know what game they're gonna release come this late back end of this year, late November. And disclaimer, this is uncut. This is gonna be the most raw speculation. Matter of fact, factual Pokemon video you're gonna see on YouTube today about Pokemon. Alright? So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna actually show you guys is the Pokemon timeline of releases, right? So the timeline of release years of Pokemon games, right? So looking at this timeline, we're gonna cut off basically the portion where it says from 1998. We're gonna actually just look at Pokemon Red and Blue and down, right? So trending from Pokemon Red and Blue, we see that Nintendo released Yellow first, actually, then Red and Blue, which is kind of weird. That's why I don't want to look at this. This is not from an economical standpoint. This is how we're gonna view this timeline, right? How also from a monetary or from a monetary standpoint, in terms of how Nintendo wants to make their money, right? Because they're also a business. They're not just a brand. They're not just a gaming company. They're a business. They need to make money in order to, continue making video games, dropping crazy content videos, continue their brand on TV as well. So looking at this chart, we have Pokemon Gold and Silver, then we have Crystal. Right, so they did Pokemon Red, Gold, and Crystal. So they did 2 games and then they made 1 game together. That's not a good economical move for them, right? That's not going to make them a lot of money. So then they go into Red and they now figure out, you know what? Let's do two more games, right? So they did Ruby and Sapphire, but they didn't figure that out at that point. I don't think once they did Ruby and Sapphire, then Emerald, and they did Gold and Silver. Well, first they did Gold and Silver, then Crystal. They didn't figure out, well, let's actually do 2 games. That they didn't know that at that point. So then they dropped Fire and Red. I feel like that was them testing it. Like, can we do a remake? Bear in mind, I'm gonna squash the theory now. They're not doing a Kento remake. It's not happening. The reason why they're not doing it, I'm sorry, Gen 1ers, I'm sorry. They're not doing it. They already did a Gen 1 remake, and that was Fire Red and Leaf Green. They're not that stupid. That's stupid from an economical standpoint. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to say it, but it's stupid. If they do it, they're going to lose a lot of money. Yes, it's nostalgic. People are going to buy it for the nostalgia factor, but if there's already a game like that out there, you mean to tell me you want to have the same booty ass starters from Gen... I mean, they're not booty, but you mean to tell me you want Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle again as a starter? No. We already had that. They did that again in X and Y where they gave us Mega Evolutions. They're not doing that, all right? I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do in just a second, but keep looking at this chart with me, all right? Because it's gonna get very interesting very shortly. So looking at this again, so they did Fire Red and Leaf Green, and then they dropped the combination between Ruby and Sapphire, and they dropped Emerald, right? So again, they say, okay, we're gonna release a new game, right? And that's going to be Diamond and Pearl. Now, Diamond and Pearl is very significant in this timeline because there's a huge gap, a year gap, right? And then they drop Platinum. Now, here's where they start getting the idea, you know what, though? If we drop 2 games, mind you, then they remade 2nd gen. So these are 2 games they've already remade. Follow the trend here, guys. Follow the trend. So they not only did they just remake Gen 1 here, they then made a new game, Diamond and Pearl, dropped the combination game, the next game up, dropped the remake, then dropped the new game. This is going to be a very interesting trend because the new game this is how it's going to be. It's going to be Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, remake, Black and White. Follow the trend here, right? So I say that to say, they already, then this is what they did. They dropped a new game, Black and White, a sequel to the new game, then they dropped another new game. So here's where they're trying to mess with their head here, right? The reason why they did this is because Black and White killed their series. A lot of people did not like Black and White, so they need to freshen it up. They're like, you know what? And another thing as well is that Black and White brought a lot of new Pokemon to the table, but it also integrated something that okay, let's backtrack here. Black and White was a game that also integrated a different type of sprite, right? And they wanted to expand on that sprite in X and Y. This is when the 3DS came out. The reason why they didn't immediately do a remake right as the 3DS came out is because the 3DS was a new device. They wanted to bring something newer to the table. That's why they, like I said, from an economical standpoint, from a monetary standpoint, if they wanted to make money, they needed to drop a new game. They couldn't just remake the game. So understand that the trend breaks here only because the 3DS is released and because they wanted to integrate a new sprite interface, you know, a bunch of new shit, right? a bunch of new shit with the game. But understand that's why they did that. But the trend still holds true to where, boom, they drop a remake, right? So again, from an economical standpoint, Game Freak knows they have to drop 2 games in a year. For instance, they noticed that right at Black and White. I feel they noticed that. Black and White, boom. Black and White 2, boom. X and Y, boom. Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Sapphire, boom. Sun and Moon, boom. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You know, they didn't drop Pokemon Z. No, they didn't drop Pokemon Z. They said, scratch that. We're not doing a sequel to X and Y. The story wasn't that expansive anyway. We're gonna drop a remake, and then we're gonna drop a newer game, right? Sun and Moon. So it brings me to the end of this video, right? What are they going to do to spicing it up? You know, that's a question you're probably asking me. You know, what can they possibly do? Is it gonna be a remake of Sinnoh? Or is it gonna be another generation? And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that they're going to do a remake of Sinnoh. Not only is it smart from a economical standpoint, I'm gonna keep using that word because it's so important that you keep that in mind as the next coming months come up and a lot of leaks and things like that come out. Really quick, another point that I may want to mention here, how I also spoke about how Black and White killed their sales, and how they wanted to integrate something new, and they brought that to the new system. But something I want to reiterate as well, and it's gonna blow your mind, right? It's gonna blow your mind. Remember when they dropped Pokemon Revolution? What game did they drop on the Nintendo Wii? Wasn't it 4th gen? A 4th gen game? It was a 4th gen game, which is kind of crazy. Wouldn't it just make sense if they dropped another 4th gen game but a remake on the Nintendo Switch? The argument could be though, because I did mention before that you know, the 3DS came out. It's a brand new system. They want to drop a game displaying the amazing graphics of the 3DS. So they drop X and Y. But something tells me that that's not Nintendo's worry this time around. Something tells me that they want to drop a game that's not only going to bring people back to their company, because they are losing money because of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Not only back to the company, but it's going to also innovate Pokemon altogether. Bring in new customers, new people as well. So it's going to be very interesting in terms of what they do in the future. So yeah, get back to the video. But it's not only refresh and bring the nostalgia back. You know, time and time again, we've seen on this timeline, Game Freak has done releases of new generations and new games and remakes only after they release a new generation, right? Because that's the trend that we have to follow, and that's the trend they're going to follow. You know, consistency, all this builds growth. So that's what they're gonna do. It's been me, Deep PC. Let's talk about it in the comment section. I just wanted to share my quick thoughts about this and what they're gonna do in the future. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we getting Sinnoh. We're getting Sinnoh. We're getting Gen 4 back. You feel me? You gonna get the young Infernape. We gonna get Empoleon. You feel me? We gonna get Torterra back. We gonna get all of them back. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been me, DPC. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, definitely drop your speculations down in the comment sections below. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.